I've never seen it.
Johnny Cash basically was working at a car plant and wanted to build his own car, so he stole one piece at a time. He stole a piece of a car every day, and then he
just like in his bag or in his shoe or
yeah, and then he built a car over like I don't know 30 years or something. It's a great song.
That's how
and then at the end of the song, the sort of the reveal is he's driving it down the road, and it's, instead of like a 57 Chevy, it's a 54, 55, 56, 57. It's a good song, man.
I do like that. That's how Andy Dufresne broke out of jail in Shawshank. Like one pocket load of rock.
Yeah, he's playing the long game.
I always loved that movie because the testament to if you just kind of work hard a lot, you can do the thing. Because everyone thinks breaking out of jail is the immediate.
Yeah,
and he's
man,
like, no. They're like, there's no way that guy dug out. He's like, yeah, I just fucking dug out.
It's like, no, man. It's not like anything else. Henry Phillips. I guess there's an old joke among guitar players where this guy's like, he makes a deal with the devil to be great, to be a rock star. He's not sure he wants to do it. He's like, I'm doing it. I'm going to be a rock star. And he goes to the devil. He's like, I want to be a rock star. He goes, you sure? I get your soul. He's like, yeah. And then the devil goes, okay. All right. I'll meet you on Monday. We got to start practicing. He's like, what? He's like, you don't just get to be a rock star.
I love that. We're kind of rolling in, right? We're going. I feel good. This is Never Seen It. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers. This is the podcast where comedians rewrite famous movies they've never seen before. Today, having never seen a movie we've never done ever on the show, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Greg Warren is here. Thanks for being here, Greg.
Hey, Kyle. Good to see you.
You as well.
Bailey, nice to see you. Nice
Hi,
to
Greg.
meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Greg, who I've known since probably about 3 years before I started comedy.
Yeah. You were you not doing comedy then?
I was not. I was just a reservationist doorman at Deja Vu Comedy Club. I've been doing this joke about Deja Vu only at other clubs.
Yeah.
For the people, this is an insane thing to get into. Like it's inside. Like everyone knows Deja Vu Comedy Club in Columbia, Missouri. Best in comedy for over 30 years. Fill out your office party cards. It's a comedy club in Columbia, Missouri. University of Missouri was there. I was working there before I really got into comedy. That's where we met.
Yeah.
You were coming through headlining that club. And I talk about Deja Vu now because I was at the Funny Stop in
Cuyahoga Falls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a name for a comedy club.
Yeah.
You know what it is. I worked at Deja Vu. It's a chain of strip clubs.
Yeah,
it's not just that it sounds like a strip club. It's literally the most famous chain of strip. It's like if you had the Bada Bing stand-up club.
Yeah.
This is the example.
Yeah.
And so people would always call when I was working during the day there, like truckers.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you guys open tonight? Yeah. Who's going up? And I'd be like, Eric. Because they just thought it was a strip club. I'd be like, oh, Eric and the Ragin' Cajun John. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep driving down I-70.
They want to know who was going up.
They would just look up, you look up, Deja Vu would show up second if you looked up strip clubs
great,
after
man.
whatever the one in Columbia actually was.
Vogue.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we know.
Club Vogue. Yeah. I know that place.
Yeah. So
Guys thought of a funny story about the Cuyahoga Falls Club with Pete.
I would love that.
Pete and Tony. I only worked there once, and I was a feature act, and it was like, I don't know, we're probably talking 2001 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And all my friends had worked there, and my buddy Mark, who I'm staying with here, Mark Gross, he had worked there, and they all told me, like, hey, listen, when you get there, Pete and Tony, the guys that own the club, their nieces or whatever, their cousins, nieces, or whatever, they're all related in the staff. They're going to give you a speech, and they're going to tell you can't have sex with the wait staff. You can't. They're going to tell you
like a literal take you aside speech.
Sit you down and be like, you can't talk to them.
Yeah.
Don't try to have sex with the wait staff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. They're do whatever you want. So they'll tell you, be like, yeah, go. Chef Tony take you out to strip bar. You want to go? It's a good time. You eat whatever you want. It's a good time. But one rule, And, they all told me that,
Yeah.
And so I get there, and it's like 3 days in, and nobody's sent anything to me about the wait staff. I was like that harmless or what non-threatening. You did. Like, I wanted to go to be like, hey, aren't you guys going to tell me not to have sex with... Oh, no. You give it the best shot. You knock yourself out.
The waitstaff saw you and they were like, let him give a run at it.
Yeah, you go ahead. Try, dork.
Oh, man.
Hey, Pete, this guy think you're going to have sex with our nieces. They're not going to like you.
I think the owner there was like, you know them, and pointed at all of the headshots to talk to me about comedy. And I was like, oh, he's just tired today. He didn't want to talk. You know, he wanted to get me in, talk to me about comedy, but it was the end of a festival.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously a little strung out from being up for all this. And he was like, you know those guys? They've been here. And I'm like, yeah, the headshots on your wall.
Yeah. God, I have another stuff. Sorry, I'm doing all these stories, but there's another story. Gross. My friend Ganant was there, and same thing. They liked the and Pete took him around, showed him all the heads. This Jimmy JJ Walker, very good times, big star, very nice guy, very good job, take care of staff, very nice guy. This guy Gabe Kaplan, welcome back Carter, very 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 funny guy, gentleman. And then he gets to my buddy Mark Gross and his pictures. This guy. This guy never work my club again. Never. This son of bitch never work my club again. This is my best friend, Mark. And Ganant's like, well, then why do you have his headshot up?
You could take these down. Not only that, but you didn't have to put it up.
This guy never worked the club. Never work my club again. And the guy, they had it in for Gross because somebody else called Pete and was telling him, like, yeah, who you got this week? Oh, it was Craig Peters. He's like, yeah, Craig Peters. And my buddy's like, Craig Peters, he's a great guy. Yes, Craig is a great guy. Let me tell you about a comedian who's not a great guy. Mark Gross.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, they did not like Gross, man.
Before we get too far into it, tell everyone about your special that just came out. We actually started watching it. I love it.
Thanks, buddy.
It is more jokes than anything I have seen in the amount of time. Does that make sense? It is like the rapid fireness of this. And look, if you guys haven't heard of stand-up comedy, it's basically scripted reels from Instagram. If you like the crowd work reels on Instagram and you want to see some people flesh those out into more scripted things, someone like tape a long horizontal reel, if you will.
A lot of people don't know, but that art form, Instagram Reels, actually got its start with stand-up comedy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I wish I could remove Instagram Reels with a really long hook, like they would a vaudevillian person that you're tired of. But tell people about special.
It's called The Salesman, and it's on YouTube. And it's on Nate Bargatze, a very successful and funny and great guy, comedian. He's a friend of mine, and he directed it and produced it, and he put it on his YouTube channel called Nate Land, and it's
Nate's sort of putting together like production and distribution of other specials and things like that.
Yeah, he's done a few, and it's I if you like,
it's so funny.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll in the intro I'll go on and on about how funny I think you are to your face, and I'll just send you the MP3 file.
Thanks, buddy.
But man, it is, no one minds a thing longer. Like, oh, this bit's over. No, Greg has 4 more. Oh, this is great. Oh, and it's 4 funnier than when you thought the joke was over. It's.
I kind of felt, I don't know. I would try to write. It's about my time at Procter & Gamble selling peanut butter and Pringles and stuff, and I didn't.
And you shot it there.
I shot
outside of the GIF.
I shot it in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes.
Is where GIF is manufactured.
Correct.
The North American GIF plant.
NAJP for those.
Yes. Yeah. And I tried for 20 years to try to make peanut butter funny, and I finally think I found a way. We put it on YouTube, so some people are going to come across it. They'll have no idea who I am or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's make the first 20 pretty tight. And that like, just let's go. And some of that was editing, a couple of Nate's notes, but it's like most people are going to be like, yeah, all right, I don't want to watch this guy. But it's like, if there's a chance we can get him, let's get him. Let's make the first 20. So I did try to fill jokes, fill it pretty.
The Salesman, Greg Warren, all these searches. People know how to find things, which is nice now. You don't have to be like, you got to go to Crackle, and then you're going to scan the QR code, and a car is going to show up. That guy's going to ask you what sidewalks look
Search
like.
And
that's
yeah, Yahoo search.
So go ahead and Bing that. That's Greg. Bing that on there. But it's so funny. It is great. And
Thanks,
then
buddy.
I was looking at your script here for the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I noticed some familiar names seeped in.
I put a couple of Easter eggs in there for you.
I don't think it is like 2008. I would say we know something about probably about 2008. And that's about when I would start hanging around Deja Vu Comedy / Club. You could call it a comedy club, but you could definitely call it a comedy / club.
Yeah, definitely. No, it was
if
a
you
dance
guys
club.
have ever been to a comedy club that then in the basement has a 700-person nightclub they expect to fill every night?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild that it couldn't outlive inflation and rent.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was, like, when I was in college, it was full. It was complete, and they didn't have to worry about it. Like, it was a little smaller space when I was in college.
Yeah.
It was
Back
full.
above, like, the Chocolate Factory.
It was
in
amazing.
Columbia.
Yeah. It was like completely full, and for a while it was in that space. It's a pretty small town to fill that many.
I think so. I have talked a lot with Todd Glass about comedy club setup. That man is obsessed, and Aristotle knows this because he produced Todd's show.
Yeah, he's pretty.
That man is so particular and obsessed with the particulars of a comedy club setup.
Yeah, he would.
And all we would talk about is why comedy clubs don't just go to the good ones and steal everything they do, because you're not competing with Minneapolis. You know what I mean? If you just go do
yes.
And so, but someplace, Columbia, that place was huge. That was a 450-person comedy club that then you have a 1,000-person downstairs.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, yeah.
And that's a lot, but it was some fun. Also the name.
And they made it work for a while.
They did really make it work.
My friend Freddie, I talk about him in the special, actually.
Yeah, actually the people at the Funny Stop, they were like, "How's Freddie?"
He used to book that. Right?
Yeah. Because I was like, I used to work at Deja Vu, and in Columbia, he's like, "Oh, how's Freddie?" And I was like, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know.
Yeah.
He sold it when I was there.
Yeah.
And it's been 10, 12 years since I've been there, so I don't know how. I'm not sure if I've kept up with Freddie.
I do. I talk to him like once a week. Or something.
He would always come in. Specifically, I think a lot about how people are nice to, like, if you work in the service industry. It's a big thing for me. I got some jokes about it. Freddie would come in and always just tip me.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
I don't know if he would ever remember my name, but he would definitely remember my face as like, oh, you're the guy who works. He just had some ownership stake in it. No management, no day-to-day, nothing. Would come in once in a while if it was a comedian he liked.
Yeah.
Or something during the day, and he'd just be like, here's $50 because you got to listen to Matt. Like the only guy who can kind of like, we're pretty inside now here for the public. Matt was the manager and was an intimidating figure. Yeah. And was an intimidating figure, especially amongst the employees. The easiest way I can put it is Matt is Tony Soprano and Freddie would be like Junior or another like sort of like the only guy who can shit on Matt.
Yeah. Matt, he can tell Matt what to do.
Yeah, it felt so great.
Matt loves him and respects him like I do, so Matt's going to be like, okay, fine.
Right. Yeah. So he would just be like, you got to fucking listen to Matt. Here's $50. Like to Matt's face. And it felt really, really good. Man. I'm like, this is more than I'm making for the time I'm here.
So much like Fred, man.
Yeah.
Hey, here you go, man. Hey, take $50, here you go, man. Here's $50, man.
Just so nice.
Matt, why don't you go easy on the kid, man? He's doing a good job.
Didn't matter that he didn't know my name.
No,
I mean, pretty high turnover there because it's a college thing and people are coming in.
At a bar and a college.
And then,
hey, honey.
Totally unrelated, Ralphie May would tip. So Ralphie May had me hold his merch up. This is a distinct memory I have of how you treat someone you don't have to treat nice.
Yeah.
I remember every comedian who came through and how they behaved.
Really?
Every comedian who came through, whether it was how they behaved with the wait staff. And I will be a little more lenient if they're in their 20s than if they're in their 50s.
Sure.
Ralphie May asked me to hold up his shirts afterwards. He's like, look, I sell a lot of big shirts. Will you hold I need someone to literally hold them up where people can't see what's on the shirt.
XXX, yeah.
And so I'm holding the shirts up, and then he just gave me $100.
Aww.
And I'm like, that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so nice, so kind, so funny.
Oh, yeah. Ralphie, kill, man.
We should get into some, what are we looking at here, Aristotle? 15. All right, well, we'll take a break and we'll get into some movie stuff. We feeling okay? That's so fun. I could talk about Deja Vu all day.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's fun. Here's my podcast where I go down memory lane from the club I worked at. It's called Deja Vu. But this is one of the things I always thought was so hilarious. Looking back and being into comedy and pursuing comedy, you look back and you're like, man, I bet featuring there stunk when the host couldn't do time.
Yeah.
Because the host would go up.
Yeah.
I remember what the host would say. Thanks for coming to Deja Vu, best in comedy for over 30 years. You just watched a video of Quinn Snyder's 2000 University of Missouri basketball team that we've been playing for 19 years.
Yep.
They still played the video when I went back and headlined there.
Yeah.
This is a video with they show hype videos at things, and then they show who's coming up and all that sort of thing. Their video was Quinn Snyder, a coach who was fired for doing cocaine with players' girlfriends.
Oh my God.
And they would show him coaching, this cool montage.
Yeah.
And then I go up and I'd be like, welcome Deja Vu. Here's your opener has been on, and then you bring him right up.
Yeah, I did that too, man.
Yeah.
When I was in college,
that
that's what I did.
sucks.
Yeah.
And, Freddie, can I do some jokes? I don't know, man.
I distinctly remember Matt saying, if you can slide them in without me noticing, you can do them. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want you to be up there.
Yeah.
That was when it was the best. If the manager wasn't up there,
Yeah.
and you were just like, you know what, I'll make the joke.
Yeah. It's
then
hard, too, because they don't expect that from you.
Nobody, no.
What's he doing?
People were so trained because they go to that club
Yep.
and they know that if you tried to slide in a joke, they're like, just fucking wise ass.
Yeah,
Trying to be funny.
This guy's a door guy.
Come on, get the first guy up here who I can get mad at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who checked me in downstairs. That was
Yeah.
always a tough thing to overcome. Okay, well let's talk about movies. Let's talk about this. So we've got into The Curious Case of Benjamin Button here,
Yeah.
which we've never done here on the podcast.
Oh, good, man.
Have you seen it, Bailey?
Yeah, I have.
Did you have any thoughts about it?
Not that I can say now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's fine. It's weird and it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Really? You would know.
There's some movies, I think I know a lot about it, but I don't know if I've seen, I couldn't confidently tell you I have or have not seen it.
You would know. You haven't seen it.
Okay.
You would definitely know.
You know what? Fucking okay.
Sure. I mean, it was a tricky one for me because I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nobody that doesn't know what it's about
Right.
because,
Sure.
especially if you're a stand-up comic, it's like that. Anything like, oh, the guy Benjamin Buttoned or what,
Right,
it's going to come up.
It
Yeah.
is like a Kleenex reference at this
Yeah,
point, where
yeah.
it's
Right.
the proper noun that is now a common phrase.
So I was like, okay, I know something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to have to go with it. I didn't get a lot of direction. Just write a script about something
It
that you
is,
hadn't seen.
I want to keep it open.
Yeah, good.
Which is almost tougher to get started, I think, when you have no direction at all and it's just do whatever. But then once you get into it, at least I hope it's a little bit of fun.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I got some copies here.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, right this morning, my buddy, who's a screenwriter, a showrunner, I'm staying at his house. I'm like, hey, can I print these out? He's like, my printer doesn't work. I'm like,
That's okay. I got a printer in here just for these. Shout out Brother Printers if you want to sponsor the podcast.
oh,
Give me
that's a
toner.
pretty big deal. Yeah.
It's a shout out Brother Printers. They did let me buy one full price at Staples, so I want to give them a shout out. Thank you guys very much for letting me purchase a printer at full price. So you can cast it up here. We'll have you do the stage directions and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. I just realized I probably should have brought some reading glasses because of the lighting. But
Do you want a backlight on? We can backlight it on.
you know what? What if I go to my car and get glass? I think I might have some.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do that, man. Yeah. Let's say you're gonna play Dr. Istvan, Kyle.
All right.
You're gonna play Ernie,
Okay.
Bailey, and you're gonna play Dottie.
Okay.
It wasn't over there.
You're gonna play McClanahan.
Okay.
Let's see, Kyle. You're gonna play.
It's fine. We'll just leave it. It's fine. All right. I'll be Dr. Istvan.
Yep, and you're gonna be Bob Gertner,
Great.
neighbor. You're gonna be McClanahan. You're
Okay.
gonna be Masterson.
Masterson.
Okay. Kyle, you're gonna be, or no, Bailey, you're gonna be a liquor store owner.
Okay.
I don't even see Masterson anywhere.
It's, Kyle, you're gonna be Bob Cassidy.
Sure.
good part.
Damn, you're lucky, Kyle.
Yeah, it's a good part. Bob
Congrats.
Cassidy is
Thank you.
aside
Thank
from
you.
Benjamin. Bailey, you're going to be the board chairman,
Okay.
and you're going to be board member 1 and board member 2.
Me?
Yep.
Great.
You're going to, yeah.
I'm the board.
I got confidence in you.
Seems kind of fucked up of the board, but I love
Yeah,
it.
I know, but you're going to be able
It's a real
to play-
succession-style board meeting
Yeah.
here. One person kind of does a lot of the talking.
Kyle, you're going to be the Wall Street Journal reporter.
Great.
Bailey, you're going to be Jenkins.
Okay.
And
If anyone comes up to you, you can throw it at one of us right there in
the
time too.
board chairman. Did we
I think that's me.
That's you. Yeah, you're board chairman. Okay, yeah, I think we got it. All right, so we ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Interior hospital room day. We're off to a good start. Dottie, 25, is in a hospital bed in the final stages of having a baby. Her husband, Ernie, 30, is encouraging her. Dr. Matt Istvan is hovering over Dottie, ready to receive the baby.
Push, Dottie, push. Just one more time.
You can do it, honey. You're doing great.
Almost. There it is.
We see Dr. Istvan's holding what looks to be a naked elderly man.
It's a boy.
You see a boy, give him $1.
It's a. It's a man. It's an old man.
Call me old one more time, medicine man, and I'm going to take that rubber hammer over there and test the reflexes of your nose. Now, for the love of Christ, where's my pants? Can someone please bring me a pair of pants and a Tommy Bahama shirt and a Sears sucker suit?
Just Hank Hill.
I don't think that's Hank Hill.
He wouldn't be so
Benjamin Button.
demanding.
Interior baby's room day. Dottie, Ernie, and Benjamin enter a baby's room outfitted for a newborn. There is a changing table, a crib, multiple stuffed animals, and a mobile hanging over the crib.
Well, this is it. Frankly, we weren't expecting. Well,
What do you mean you weren't expecting? It's a boy's room, and I'm a boy. Good job, Mom. Put her in the vice there, Dad. Now, a couple of changes. Bunny's got to go. Snoopy's got to go. Bear stays. I like that bear. Get rid of the junk hanging over my bed, and if it's not too much trouble, I'd like an 8x10 glossy Ava Gardner. Maybe with some lipstick marks on the corner. And one more thing, I love you both very much, but you got to knock it off with the milk. I don't do dairy. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Interior day, 10 years later, kitchen table, Ernie, slightly aged, is talking to Benjamin, now 85-ish. He looks somewhat the same, but is a bit more upright, and his voice is less strained.
now, son, I know school's not an easy place for a boy like you.
Exterior day, elementary school playground. Benjamin strolls to the plate in a kickball game. The pitcher rolls one in easy. Benjamin kicks it with all of his might, and it goes less than a foot. Benjamin takes off running and stops after 3 steps to check his pulse. The pitcher rockets the ball at Benjamin's head, and he's out. Dag nabbit, I was this close to legging that one out. Interior day, kitchen table.
But I can tell you this. No matter what happens, hard work will pay off in the end.
Interior day, the Button neighborhood, early a.m. Benjamin is in a rascal scooter delivering newspapers.
Hey, Benny boy, how goes the route?
Tip top, Mr. Gertner. How's that market treating you?
Neighbor. What's this neighbor?
That's a typo.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah, switch.
Oh, Benny boy, I'm up big.
Outstanding, sir.
Benny, in my experience, all that means is tomorrow I'm going to be down.
That's a good one there, Mr. Gertner. Exterior night, high school football game. Benjamin, 8 years younger or older, as it were, is in a football huddle talking to his teammates. McClanahan checks in the huddle.
Coach says run. I formation.
Forget what that halfwit says. I got this. Now, I want you boys to line up in the power T formation. I'm going to fake a pitch to the halfback, and then I'm going to roll out and hit Masterson in the far corner of the end zone.
Ben, that's a 60-yard toss. You think you can throw that far? You know, with you being...
Me you being what? You just get to the back of that end zone, turn around and say hello to Mr. Football. Benjamin calls the signal, fakes the pitch, rolls out, and throws the ball. With all of his might, it goes 3 feet. Dadgummit! Dadgummit all!
Oh, don't beat yourself up, Ben. I don't think I ran the right route.
No, dadgummit, I know when I did what I did. I think those Park Hill fellas might have oiled up the ball. Slipped right out of my hands. Anyways, I'll let you boys down.
Shout out the school district my sister teaches in.
A few things in there for you, Kansas City guy. Exterior night, liquor store. Benjamin and his teammates are huddled around the side of a liquor store, pulling money out of their pockets and handing it to Ben. Interior night liquor store. Another typo. Who's the liquor store owner? We're going to make a call, and that's going to be Bailey.
Okay.
Good call.
20 cases of natural light. That's quite a bit of beer, sir. And honestly, it's not very good. It's for college kids mostly.
Hey, mind your business there, Sonny. I believe I am what we call in the retail business the customer, and you are the cashier, and this is the cash. A little less chit-chat and a little more ringing up of the beer. Okay. Interior day, investment banking office. This is, after Ben gets out of college. Let's call it, he's 22 or so. Bob Cassidy, managing partner of Young & Young, a Wall Street investment firm, is interviewing Ben for a job. He's out of college, trying to get his first job.
Mr. Button, you're a little green in the gills. No, you're a lot green in the gills. This isn't a Walmart greeter job. Our new hires work 18-hour days. Most of them wash out in 6 months. The rest are popping Adderall just to keep pace.
Just give me a chance. I'll work my way up the ladder.
You don't need to be anywhere near a ladder.
I'm just looking for a shot.
I mean, we probably do get some kind of tax credit for hiring geezers. What can it hurt? Marie, set Grandpa Button here up with an ID badge and a welcome packet. At least I know you won't take my job. You'll be dead before you get that far.
You won't regret this.
Just don't die on the sales floor. You want to die? Go down to finance.
Interior day, Young & Young conference room. This is 10 years later.
And our newest partner, although there is absolutely nothing new about him, Benjamin Button.
Okay, interior day, Young & Young conference room, another 10 years later.
I think you all know my replacement. I could not be prouder of this young man, old man, whatever he is, Benjamin Button.
Interior day, Young & Young conference room. This is another 25 years later.
Ben, your track record at this firm is unmatched. I'm not sure this firm would even exist without your leadership. It honestly pains me to say this, but the board has voted to terminate your employment. Honestly, people are getting very nervous about investing their money with a bank led by a teenager.
Maybe go run one of those Silicon Valley banks. They love that kind of stuff, Ben. Oh, with all due respect, Ben, some of your behavior lately has been a little unorthodox for someone in your position.
We cut to interior day press conference.
Mr. Button, how do you explain your disastrous first quarter earnings?
Spring break, dog. It was epic. Interior day, Benjamin's office. Jenkins, the Young & Young CFO, barges into Benjamin's office. Benjamin has affixed a video game console to his desk and is playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Ben, you never filed the paperwork for the Marsteller merger?
Oh, no.
Oh, no? What do you mean, oh, no? Ben, this is an $800 million deal. Or should I say this was an $800 million deal?
I forgot, dog. I just forgot.
You forgot. You forgot.
Well, you're fat and bald. I'm not fat or bald. Exterior night, high school football game. 1 year later, Benjamin is in the huddle once again. All right, boys. I want you to line up in the power T formation. I'm going to fake a pitch to the halfback, and then I'm going to roll out and hit Masterson the third in the far corner of the end zone. Ready? Break.
Masterson the third.
Yeah,
This family runs this town.
Yeah, it's his grandson's playing on the same team.
Just so much legacy in this script.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's important that you know I realize I haven't seen this movie just based on your script. I don't know how that let me know, but I have not seen it.
No, he
so?
nailed it.
Because
yeah.
you brought up all of the questions I would immediately want to have about it.
Yeah.
Is he born?
Yeah, he's born and he's an
Wow.
old man, and it's
He's born as an old man?
Yes, it's so disturbing.
In
It's
the
really upsetting.
in the hospital? Is the
They
doctor?
show it?
Yes.
What does
Oh my
the
God.
doctor say? Like, whoa.
Yeah, something very similar to whoa. Ew.
Yeah.
When
Does he
does
talk
this-
when he's an old man?
Yeah. He eventually
He's born
does talk.
talking.
He looks like a raisin, like he's like 200 years old or something. He's like really wrinkly and horrible.
Like
and gross.
Voldemort, the dead little Voldemort.
Very Voldemort. Yeah.
Does he like?
You're thinking.
Is
what
he?
I'm
Does he
thinking.
have the maturity?
Yeah. What is his
mentally
emotion?
of an old person?
He's like senile. Yeah, for a long time, and then
Okay.
he gets more and more cognizant, and then he's Brad Pitt, and he's like hot.
So there's a time where he's the age of being that age.
Yeah.
Like he's like 40. If he's going to
You
live to
meet
be
in the
80,
middle,
when
right?
he's
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
he meets in the middle.
And so there's like Kate Blanchett is also in this movie, and she's born at the same time he's born, and so they age. Like,
Humble brag.
They
yeah.
meet in the middle.
They meet in the middle, and then they
Okay.
fall in love, and then they like move.
This
past
sounds
each
good.
Other.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a difficult way to take on love in an extreme
It's
concept.
good. It's good. It's creepy.
You know what? Someone should give this
Highlander
movie.
Kind of did the same thing.
Oh dear.
I just
There can only be one.
Sure.
when
Love
does he
story.
talk when he's 0/100?
He like makes kind of like noises. Well, you know how like old people are kind of like babies, like when they're like super old, they can't like a lot of that.
A
Yeah,
lot of that sort of thing. So he's like Junior Soprano.
yeah, he's like junior soprano.
okay.
Like a little worse than that, and then he gets to like junior status, and then
So
he's like fine.
How old is he biologically when he talks? Like 2?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's like 2/98.
Yes.
So
yeah.
would you say it's roughly like 100 counting down up and down at
Yes.
the same time?
I would
Okay.
say that. Yeah.
What is his last name? Button?
yeah.
And his
I'm like reading my hand to see if I have any more questions for Bailey.
does he have any? Pitt plays him, but does Pitt play the old man?
Yeah.
Really?
Is that creepy? Does it look like The Irishman?
No, it's not. I don't think it's quite that bad. I can't.
How crazy is
I
that?
Think he does though.
This movie's way older than The Irishman. Did you watch The Irishman, Greg?
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Remember
much.
when he puts like De Niro's face on like a 20-year-old with the computer? And it just like, it makes to me,
It's crazy.
and Bailey and I have talked about this, it's like your brain just doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
It's
brain's,
upsetting.
I think it's because your brain knows who Robert De Niro is.
Yeah.
It's easier to CGI someone to look completely different.
Yeah.
But your brain's just like, no. It's just literally like, no. And I liked a lot of that movie a lot, but that really,
Yeah.
I was like, stop. Just
Yeah.
cast someone new.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many.
Give somebody a shot.
It felt to me
You
in
could
a.
have done it.
I would have loved to do it. You
De Niro?
should see my Italian accent. If they got a mushroom or a Yoshi there, it feels like when SNL had Alec Baldwin playing the president, and you're like, come on, let a young guy make his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some great thing for someone.
Right.
So.
Scorsese's
and then
not
what about the
meeting new
kid? How, like when he's
Yeah, when he's
when,
like
when do
50.
they switch out of Pitt?
I don't. Yeah, it's probably like teenager. I can't remember how they do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a baby. Like he dies as a baby, like a baby.
Like
baby.
looking like an infant.
Like an infant.
Smooth skin.
Yeah. Even that's Brad Pitt. I don't know.
Really?
No, I don't think
Oh,
it is.
wow.
It's just
Another
like
one of Missouri's finest. Springfield, Missouri, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Our-
hometown.
yeah, that's right.
My
Wow.
hometown. I
your
guess.
hometown too. Yeah.
Dropped out
Our
of
boy.
college. This guy really knew. That was always one of my.
He was
This is
almost done, though,
so unrelated. I was a tour guide at Mizzou,
Yeah.
and they made you say he was an alumni, even though he left with 4 credit hours left.
Right.
Oh, Missouri State does that for me too.
Bailey Norton alumni. No, 4 credit hours left.
4 credit hours in.
They were like, just because they would send him an honorary degree like every year, and he never. You have to actually accept it to
Yeah.
get it.
Oh,
Otherwise,
really?
schools would just be like everyone. I'm Nelson Mandela, University of Missouri graduate. I'm sure he was accepting his mail for a while there. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have to actually like say yes, I will do this, and he never accepted ever.
So they were just like, go ahead and say.
And they were like, what's he going to, if he clearly isn't answering our calls, let's
sues
just
the
lie.
school.
You're the first person to sue someone and say he didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Then the only time he ever came back to Missouri was like an environmental fundraiser he was doing.
Oh, really?
And he did he came to introduce like a documentary. And so it became a big deal. He knew the documentary filmmaker, something about climate change. This is like 04,
Okay.
03, somewhere in there. And he comes and he just goes, here's the movie, and leaves Columbia. Like, he doesn't even stay for the movie.
Damn.
It was just his friend made the movie. So, he could private jet in to Columbia, which that's barely what their airport can hold there.
Right.
And then just left, and everyone waited for hours to get in to see this thing, and he just said
he
hi
just
and
left.
left. And
Whenever he would come to Springfield, he and Angelina Jolie would rent out the entire movie theaters, not just one theater, the whole
all of
building.
the screens.
Yeah, so no one could go if they were in town with all their kids.
To be fair, with all the kids they have, that might be 9 screens worth of adoptions
Yeah,
that they've done at this point.
That's true. That's true. He also has a brother named Doug Pitt.
Yeah.
And I used to trick or treat at Doug Pitt's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good candy?
Full
the
size?
best. Yeah, full size.
Oh, he's
How many
getting
were,
supplemented from
full
his
size,
brother.
my brother gives out movie size.
Damn.
Oh, really?
1 pound chocolate bars.
Man.
He's been
We would-
kids from all
rules.
over the country to go to.
You fly in, it's cheaper than going to a movie at this point. We would go trick-or-treating in the Chiefs players' neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
So Derek
Smart.
Thomas and Neil Smith, and these guys are like,
Did they have good candy?
oh
or
my- I mean, it's worth the drive.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And they a few of them lived on a cul-de-sac, pretty only 10 minutes from my parents' house.
Yeah.
And so you go, and it's you're like in a queue, and
Wow.
to go up. But then they would answer the door and be like, cool Chiefs guy or cool
Really?
TV or whatever. My Halloween costumes were always homemade. I was a fucking TV one year.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
that's
dad-
great. I love that.
You think that? My dad hollowed out a console television set and put shoulder straps in it and cut a head hole in it.
That's
so he took the
incredible.
tube. Yeah, except it weighed
Kinda cool.
40
Yeah,
pounds.
But it made
probably-
you
probably got
stronger.
scoliosis. But
Yeah, I do. I have scoliosis and jacked hamstrings by the end of. And then he would be like, "All right, do the TV show," and I would sit down like a turtle going in its shell, and I would be like the TV.
that's great.
It is five houses in detrimental to my long term.
Yeah,
health. You
yeah,
see how I'm
yeah.
sitting literally right now in this chair,
Yeah.
hunched over. But we go. Those, where the good candy's at.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's really
Those guys
cool.
would have real solid candy.
That
Yeah,
rocks.
man. Derek Thomas and Neil Smith, you said?
They were next door neighbors.
Really? They
Yeah.
were both defensive ends, weren't they? Or one was a defensive
lineman,
Yeah.
defensive end for the Chiefs. Derek Thomas, rest in peace, died in a
Died
car
in a
wreck.
car wreck.
Oh.
Not towards the middle end of his career there.
Both,
wear your seatbelt.
Sacks.
Both Hall of Fame guys.
They sacked the quarterback
Yeah.
every other play, right?
Those were those fun times where the Chiefs would just lose games 6-2.
yeah.
You have no offense, and now you look at them and you're like, well, now they have Jesus on their team.
Yeah.
They should have had this guy back then.
Yeah. And Neil Smith, or was it Neil Smith or Derek Thomas used to do he had a movie he'd make after he did a sack.
Yeah,
It was
sort of like a
tribute to
celebration.
George Brett, I think. Yeah.
Like a home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the day. But man, Halloween was. But you didn't know where those things were in Halloween. Where did we get on Halloween talking about?
I don't know.
Brad Pitt,
I like
Doug
it, though.
Pitt.
Doug Pitt, yeah.
I think Doug Pitt, Brad Pitt to me. If you think about Hollywood people, most of them have fake names. Tom Cruise is a fake name. Nicolas Cage a fake name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think is Tom Cruise fake or is Tom his middle name or something? Cruise is his middle name.
Really?
So that's fake.
Whose middle name is Cruz? That's crazy.
Movie star?
Tom.
Tom.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
Nicolas
if
Cage is a
Xenu
Coppola,
allows, you can have whatever you want as your middle name.
So true.
If you get audited enough, you're allowed to go by a new name. But Brad Pitt sounds like a fake Hollywood name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like what someone whose name is like Bradley Cuthbert would come to
Right.
Hollywood and just change to Pitt.
Pitt.
Pitt's a
It's
good
quick. It's easy.
Yeah.
says good looking.
Matt Damon, that's a real name probably. I don't know. I don't know anyone. I
Nicolas
had so
Cage is
few
Coppola,
examples.
right?
He's a Coppola. Yeah.
I had so few examples. Nicolas
a-
Cage was my only strong example. Just looking back.
I have a sort of I don't know, tangential Nick Cage story.
No Nick Cage story on this podcast is
Okay.
tangential. They're a driving force.
So I was in acting classes here. This is probably 2003 or something when I was living in LA, and I was in acting class with this really cool girl and beautiful. She was like a model or something, but really down to earth and cool. And so we go to. I was talking to my friend Bob Knazel, and I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna ask Kristen out this class. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. He's like, yeah, man, do it. So she's not there, okay, in class. And Bill Paxton comes to class. You know who that is? The guy. Yeah, Bill
Yes.
Paxton, the actor.
Yeah.
Comes. He used to take acting class from this guy named Vincent Chase, who the I don't know, the showrunner or the producer, the guy that wrote.
Oh, David Chase?
No, the guy that wrote Entourage.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Used to take class from Vincent Chase, and that's why the lead character is named Vincent Chase.
Oh.
Vinny Chase. So anyways, Vincent Chase is my acting teacher. His character, love this guy. And Bill Paxton used to take class there, so he came in just to say hi. And he was really cool. Said hi to us. So he leaves, and then Kristen shows up like late. The girl that I was,
ready to ask.
Amazing girl. Yeah. And I go, hey, Kristen. I go, you missed it. Bill Paxton was here. She's like, oh wow, I know that guy. How do you know Bill Paxton? She's like, it's no big deal. I'm like, come on, you just got to tell me.
You got to tell us.
I know her pretty well at this point. Like, we've done scenes together. I'm like, come on, just tell me. Like, how do you know Bill Paxton? She's like, well, I was engaged to Leo DiCaprio, and I was also engaged to Nicolas Cage, or she maybe was married to Nick Cage. And we were all like on the scene. Both of those guys. I was on the scene of Titanic with him, and he was in Titanic with him and Leo. And then I was, Nick and him were friends. So
what the?
Oh my God! Did you still ask her out?
No. I said. I just didn't say anything for a long time, and I go, yeah. I used to date Shannon Klosterman. She goes, oh, who's that? I go, she's a physical therapist in Cincinnati. She's a really, really nice girl, really pretty girl. And then I didn't ask her out.
Oh no!
I didn't do it. Man. I couldn't do it.
Just one of those.
Not after DiCaprio and Cage, man.
That's so funny to be like, I can't believe you know Bill Paxton. How? And you're like, well, if you can't believe that,
yeah. And she was
the
not
how
at
is going
all
to ruin
like
your
the type
day.
of girl that would brag about it. She was like kind of like, I don't want to. I kind of like coaxed it out.
Avoiding name dropping.
Yeah, she did not want to.
But it's impossible.
She didn't even mean to say she knew him. She's like, oh, I know him. And then she was just like, oh, and then I'm like, okay.
It's like impossible.
It makes sense though. Is this girl's just like beautiful and cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And at one point under 26. So that's how you know Leonardo DiCaprio could have been interested as well.
Right. At the time, maybe 30.
Oh yeah.
No,
Too
probably
old.
mid to late 20s.
Oh, so they probably
still-
dated 10, 12 years before that.
Guarantee she probably still looks great. I think. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you're out there, come tell me that story. That is so fun. It is always because at some point, if someone has to tell you someone famous's name, they know they're either gonna feel shitty about it or be excited to do it. But Nicolas Cage and Leonardo DiCaprio are two people it's impossible to say any personal story about in a non-braggadocious. Like you can't be, because if you're just like my friend Nick, that's even shittier.
Yeah.
If you find out that's Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Or my friend. How many people you be like? Well, I was dating his friend Leonardo.
Yeah.
You're like, any Leonardo I know? Let me look his name up. What was it?
Not Da Vinci.
Not the turtle.
Yeah.
Is that a real name, Leonardo DiCaprio? That seems fake. But maybe it is. He's in Growing Pains. I remember that. That's where I first remember Leonardo DiCaprio was like they adopted him in Growing Pains.
I don't know. I don't
It's
have
a real
way to
name.
know.
That's
Real
true.
name. Wow.
That'd be a pretty funny fake one if his name was like Bill Schmidt, and he changed it to Leonardo DiCaprio. All right, we got a couple of games. What's going on? What's going on with the camera there? We're gonna take a quick break. All right, everybody, we're back. We're going to play a couple games. We got some games here on the podcast that we play, some movie-related games, some pun-related games. The first one that we're going to play here is called Before and Afters, and you don't actually need the headphones, but I do have a little theme song.
Oh, wow, man. Let me hear that.
Okay.
That's not it.
They're playing.
You might be on the wrong... It says Before and After. Go in the board to the where it should say the thing. You know, we're going to... See if you have to scroll over there. That's my bad. I was changing them up. Hey, everybody, we're back. We got a couple games we're going to play here on the podcast. This first one is called Before and Afters.
Get ready to play Before and Afters.
Bought 3 pair of headphones for that.
That's good. I like it.
How
it a
this
lot.
game works is 2 movies have been smashed together into one. I will tell you the smashed together plot. You have to tell me the smashed together title. So similar to the Wheel of Fortune before and afters category, portmanteaus, things that kind of like wordplay into each other. Some examples: The Wolf of Wall Street, which is Wally Wolf Wall Street, Saving Private Silverman, Fargo, which is Argo and Fargo. What are any other examples? Anyone think? There's a bunch of them.
Okay.
The Fast and the Fury, Us. That's Us and Fast. Okay. There's all these examples. You're more than welcome to work together to try and come up to these conclusions. I'll give a shout out. These titles were written by some fans of the podcast on the Never Seen It Discord page. So thank you, Aaron, Moist, and Akimdo for these, which I believe are all Hollywood names.
Yeah.
You know, Moist is a Coppola. I believe it's actually he's Francis Chevrolet Coppola, but he thought it would. Here we go. So I'll read the plot. You have to tell me the smashed together poorly. None of them are as good as the examples title.
Great.
A writer for a woman's magazine sets out to write an article on how to get a boyfriend to dump you by committing deadly, sin-inspired murders.
How to lose a
guy in 7 days.
How to lose a guy in 7 days.
sins.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Way to go, Bailey.
Group effort.
That was a group effort.
Yeah, it was not.
Here we go. Number 2. A woman and her son are terrorized inside their broken down car by a monstrous St. Bernard that was bit by a rabid, failed clown turned stand-up comedian.
Okay, wait. Okay, so the last part is it, right? And
A woman and her son are terrorized inside their broken down car by a monstrous St. Bernard that was bitten by a rabid, failed clown turned stand-up comedian.
Joker? I don't know.
This one's kind of tough.
I don't know.
It is because
Picturing it.
Joker's like the other way around.
Yeah.
Clown turned stand-up comedian.
Yeah. What would that be?
You're right with that one.
It was Joker? It's
Yeah,
Joker?
yeah,
Okay.
Joker.
Yeah.
I don't know what the first
A
part
woman and her
is.
son are terrorized inside their broken down car by a monstrous St. Bernard that was bitten.
A
by
woman and
rabid.
their son in a car. I don't what.
I don't know what that one is.
We are looking for Cujo Cur.
Oh.
Cujo Cur.
Okay.
Cujo's a movie I had to look up the plot to because I
Yeah,
haven't
I
seen
didn't
it. If
see
you
it.
haven't seen it, you
Haven't
haven't
seen
seen it.
I haven't seen it.
That's not one of those universal
It's on brand, bro.
plots.
It's a podcast.
That's
I didn't
good.
see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go. Number 3. An angsty teen's important birthday approaches with typical adolescent dread. She pines for an older boy at school. A nerdy classmate is interested in just her. She discovers she's a werewolf and plays basketball, etc.
It's 16 Candles and what's the...
Oh, no. I don't know.
An angsty teen's important teenage birthday approaches with
Okay.
typical adolescent dread. She pines for an older boy at school. A nerdy classmate is interested in her. She discovers she's a werewolf and plays basketball, etc.
What's the werewolf basketball? Michael J. Fox's
Teenage. Oh, 16.
16 Wolf.
16 Wolf is correct.
Nice.
16
Nice,
Wolf.
Greg.
I got one. Okay.
Here we go. Due to international conflict, a time-traveling cyborg assassin disguised as a human gets stuck indefinitely at JFK Airport.
Okay, it's
This is a fun one to say.
the term... What's the Tom Hanks thing where he's in the airport?
Catch
The terminal, isn't it?
the terminal. Oh, it's
Terminal?
the terminal
Terminator?
later.
The Terminator and all.
That's great.
The Terminalinator or the Terminator and all, both of them.
Nice.
Imagine if I only accepted one of those. I'm like,
It's
no,
the
you're fucking
Terminator and
wrong.
all.
Frank, get it together.
It's the Terminalinator.
So far off.
The Terminalinator also sounds like the name of the TSA's new scanner. Oh, that's the Terminalinator.
Yeah. You don't have to wear your shoes.
You actually got to put your shoes on your hands for that one. We make sure you don't turn into metal socks.
Oh, that's great.
All right, we got 2 more. I think Cujo, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, here we go. A governess travels to Siam to teach the king's children and wives while plotting to kidnap her favorite late-night talk show host in an effort to get on TV.
Wait, so the Anna and the King of Siam, is that the first one? And then
And Anna and the King of Late Night? Or Anna and the King of...
Anna and the King of Comedy?
Anna and the King of Comedy.
Comedy.
Also would have accepted the King of
Hey.
Comedy and I.
Nice job.
All right, final one. After losing everything in the Great Recession, a woman who lives in her van travels across the country with Sarah and others searching for the Great Valley.
Nomad Land Before Time.
Nomad Land Before Time.
Totally. Don't know any of it, but that's amazing.
You either know the plot to Land Before Time without saying dinosaurs, or you don't.
Great.
It's a hard movie to write a plot
Way to
for
go,
without
Bailey.
saying dinosaurs.
No, you too.
Extremely impressive.
I don't know why I'm
Yeah,
organizing this paper.
Get it
I
straight.
need a pen. Is there a pen sitting
I got
there
a
that I
pen.
can use? You have one?
Nah, I don't have a pen.
Oh, you have right there.
Oh, here we go. All right, this next game we're going to play. This game is called Build the Perfect Movie.
Oh boy.
Build a perfect movie.
You didn't miss much. It's fine. How this game works is I will give you a category. You have to pick 2 movies from that category whose Rotten Tomatoes score add up to as close to 100 as possible without going over.
Okay.
So Price is Right rules apply. How it works is I'll give you the category. Greg will pick a movie. Bailey will pick a movie. We'll review the scores. Greg, you'll pick, or then you'll pick your second. She'll pick her second.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead. You know what we're gonna do is what are they, movies you haven't seen.
Perfect.
You know, we'll do an easier one. We'll do drama first.
Okay.
2 dramas. Movies you haven't seen is a little bit challenging. We'll get the format of the game down. So you each pick 1 drama. We'll review the scores. You'll pick your second. As close critics scores to 100 as possible without going over.
Okay.
All right. Greg, so your first drama you want to pick? I would say the most frequent strategy is go low, go high. People like to pick as low as they can. And then,
Jiggly. Or is that a drama? That's not a drama.
Oh yeah.
we
that's-
watched that. I would
yeah.
say it was dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
Jiggly.
All right.
It's a
All right. Greg's first
Terrible movie.
Bailey, what would you like your first movie? And remember, you're competing against each other on this one.
Oh,
so.
wait a minute. Oh, really?
So you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
In the spirit of bad movies that start with a G, I'm gonna go Gotti.
Gotti.
Oh, good one.
GOTTI.
Good one. Yeah.
Wow, what a week that was for us. We watched
Yeah.
Gigli and Gotti the same week.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Literally, rough is the name of what it is. It says how to watch it is it's rough is what it says on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought it was the name of a movie. Literally rough.
So here we go. Gigli, Bailey Gigli Greg is a 6%.
Okay.
Wow.
So you were looking for a 94 or less
Wow.
for
Cinderella
your second
Man.
one. All right, we can go ahead and take yours in here.
Oh my god, I forgot about that movie with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And Paul Giamatti was.
Yeah.
They don't make a lot of Russell Crowe's very good in that movie.
Yeah.
All right. Bailey, Gotti is a 0. It's a literal 0.
Oh boy.
So you're looking as close to 100 as possible without going over.
I would
Remember,
love
don't
to-
go over.
I would love to say Marriage Story.
Marriage Story.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's good.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
All right, let me do Bailey's math here real quick. 0, carry both numbers at the same time. All right, here we go. Reviewing. Gigli is a 6%. Cinderella Man is an 80%. So you got an 86 here, Greg.
Nice.
Gotti is a 0%.
Yeah.
Gotti might be retired from this game as a possible guest after this one.
Yeah.
Marriage Story, 95%.
Nah,
So
she
Bailey
beat-
takes this one down.
Nice.
95%. So there's our warm-up round. I don't know why I'm crossing it out and
Recency
taking notes.
bias.
All right, our second round here, we're going to get to build a perfect movie out of 2 movies you haven't seen.
Okay.
So I trust you.
Okay.
Bailey, you won, so you'll pick first here.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Have you seen that?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Greg, your first movie you haven't seen.
Well, I'm gonna go opposite strategy because I can't think of a bad movie that I haven't seen.
I feel like I only see the bads.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say. I just lost it. Oh, the Silence of the Lambs. I never saw it.
I also haven't.
It's so good.
Yeah, I've seen probably parts of it.
Sure.
That feels like one. It's just that's impossible to know nothing about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
because every idiot's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Don't Worry, Darling is a 38%. So, Bailey, you're looking at a 62. You know what this game has really done is got me good at math under 100. I'm pretty quick. 2 numbers under 100. I can tell you. Give me 5-6 minutes and I got it. Greg, The Silence of the Lambs is a 95%. So you need one that's 5 or less. Bailey, you'll pick first because you have more to make up. You're looking
Okay.
for a 62 or less.
Of a movie I haven't
If you
seen.
get right on 100, remember this is your podcast now. You are. You have to. I'll give you the megaphone login.
Oh, no.
You're responsible for rent to this studio. So you want a 61 or less, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. What movies have I not seen that I can think of?
This is tough.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's always tough to think of stuff you haven't seen.
I know.
Yeah, this is hard.
When we like when I ask people to do this, it's hard to come up with a list sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you're like,
Yeah.
have you seen these movies? They're always like, nope, never seen any of them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hold on. I gotta think for a second. I gotta go through my Netflix Rolodex
Gotcha.
of stuff I haven't.
Or even
clicked on.
places with movies.
Yeah. Oh, what's the
Godfather 2.
Oh no, what's the Sopranos movie called?
Oh,
The new Many Saints of Newark.
Yeah,
Many
let's say the Many Saints of Newark.
I think that's what it's called, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Greg, you have a 95. Is there a movie you haven't seen that is so bad?
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Nice.
The sequel to Gotti. People don't know that. This is okay. Here we go. Don't Worry, Darling is a 38. The Many Saints of Newark is a 72. So you're at 110. We're over by
Damn.
10 there. Silence of the Lambs is 95. Ernest Goes to Camp is a 62.
What? I gotta see that movie. I gotta see that movie.
Why to watch? Fun.
If Camp's a 62, then Prison's got to be an 89.
I think he actually won an Oscar for Prison. That is, I got mad at my phone. It made my phone battery die looking that up. That's how shocked my phone was that it was good.
Yeah, I mean, Varney should have got an Oscar for Prison. if Camp was a 62, Prison's a 96.
All right, we have one final game we're going to play. This one you do need the headphones for. It's an audio game. This game is called Guess What Movie My Dad is Describing, having only watched the trailer and never having heard of the movie.
This is genius.
Okay.
Guess the movie trailer Kyle's dad is describing having
This
only
is
watched
brilliant.
the trailer and never having heard of the movie game.
Aristotle has two options there he can pick. They both have the name of the movie, correct? The bottom left and the bottom right? Go ahead and just leave it. You can just leave it cranked up. You don't got to fade in here. How this works is my dad watches a movie trailer. He describes what's happening in that movie. You have to tell me what movie it's a trailer for.
Okay.
All right? Any movie ever. He doesn't turn the TV off for this, apparently.
Okay. This preview has been approved for all audiences.
Nice.
It's really dark. Now there's this rock. A lot of shots of stuff coming into the camera's view. It's round and on the ground. Oh, that's what that is. The other shots were too close up.
It's got a critical eye.
Now it's opening. And the music is getting scarier.
I don't even remember what this is.
People running through tunnels of smoke.
Oh.
More shots of tunnels and them in helmets. A very quick shot of a cat. More tunnel running. Cat again. Screaming. Cat is then angry. Oh, I've seen that tagline before.
Abrupt ending for the 14-second opening.
Yeah, that preamble.
Any tunnel running, cat,
Tunnel running a cat in a rock.
wearing helmets. I do remember which one this is now.
Man, I'm so lost on this. The helmets. I'm just going to have to stick with the helmets and say Rudy.
It's not Rudy. Bailey?
I don't really have any guesses, I don't think.
It has a very, very famous tagline. It is not Indiana Jones. We are looking for, and I believe, Alien.
Oh,
Alien.
didn't see it.
I've never seen it.
What do we think that other one looks easier or tougher? Okay, go ahead and run this one through. We got one more.
Okay. He came to them all with a pledge. That is a really fancy dinner. He is presenting them with a direct challenge, and they hated his speech. He can't find his family. The press went crazy when they found out. So many quick shots, all with one line. I didn't know phones worked on those back then. She says he will not negotiate. He's more than his job. He's also a husband and a father. And he knows how to fight. Some gun scenes. Jumping around a plane. That explosion didn't look real.
Oh, I remember now.
The shots are so fast now. Some fighter jets showed up. And that missile is heading straight for it. Does he know who he is?
They end pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clear and present danger.
No, but I think you're kind of close. I do remember what it is now, yeah.
Independence Day?
Oh, no, but even kind of in the same world. There's a famous president.
Groundhog Day. Same world.
They both say day. Yeah. We are looking for Air Force One. Air Force One. That is tough. I forgot what that was, and I wrote it down. Well, hey, everybody. Greg, thanks for coming on Never Seen It today.
This is great, man.
Thank you for having never seen Benjamin Button. This is a script. It is my eventual goal to animate this and make a television show of these animated, and this script is exact reason why that will be wonderful to see. If you could, like, fleshing this out to a beautiful world of, and it brought up all the questions I had about the movie. Yeah. Was he born an old baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go watch it because I thought I had it completely wrong. I was close.
The closest, pretty right.
The closest thing to Benjamin Button in the real world is LeBron James' hairline, which he was a bald 15-year-old, and now it is slowly working its way forward. Let everyone know again about the special and anything else you want them to know about.
I want them to know that I enjoyed this a lot. It's really, really good. Really cool idea and very well produced. And my special is called The Salesman. It's on YouTube, and my name's Greg Warren, and I hope you guys check it out.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
I've never seen it.